Alright everybody, welcome to the channel. Glad you're here. Today we're going to look at some trays that I made for this monster game here. Barbarossa, Army Group North, 1941. GMT Games, and game designed by Vance Von Borries, I believe. Hopefully I'm saying that right, and I apologize if I'm not. But yeah, this is a fairly substantial game, and when I was in Tempe, they had a lot of monster games out. So that you guys that play these games you commit very well to that. I've never played this game, but I have designed some trays. I basically tried to work off of the counters in the card, the way that they came. Hopefully I got them all correct, but if not, those of you that look at this and know how this game is played can leave comments below, and hopefully if you print up some trays, you can let me know what you think. But right now, let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is a pretty hefty box, but it does give me quite a bit of room, but I used up every inch of it. Inside here, and I use my normal 3-tray setup in here, and we'll lift this one out the center here, and all of my actual counter trays are inside this box right here. So I made 3 boxes the same. Put them right here. And because this one doesn't have any cards up the front that I generally put up front here, I also provided a little spacer that you can put in here that sort of holds everything from sliding back and forth. Now, this particular game has a lot of stuff underneath it here, and as you can see, that's just part of it. And I'm not going to go through all of this, but you have a lot of maps in here. They're all in the box here. Everything stays in the box. You got a lot of player aids here that go also in the box. And you know, the maps I do switch around a little bit, as I do with I always have done with the manuals. I will switch the sides as to where the binding is. That way it makes it even instead of them all being on one side here. And then you have a lot of setup cards here. Now, not knowing whether this is a good idea, I was thinking about arranging them for the setup cards so that when you take them out of here, you put them right on the setup cards. But I wasn't sure that was a good idea, so I just went by the type of unit and keeping them all together. So hopefully that worked out. So let me show you what I've done here. And oops, I guess I should show you the tray here. This little spacer just goes right there, prevents all this from moving back and forth a tremendous amount. So the first tray we'll look at this gray one here at the top, and I believe this is tray number 1. Yes, it is labeled tray number 1 here, and lid number 1. Both of them are labeled like that. And this one, the reason that it's gray is it has mostly the German units in it. So let's take a little closer look at it. And here we go. So we have 4 trays in here, and these slide out like this. And inside here, we have another German tray, and we have a tray with Russians in it. Oh, there you go. John's spilling them already here. And you can see that, you know, when you drop them like that, they're going to fall. But, you know, not too bad. So these are our trays that we have in this particular one. And again, this is tray number 1. And all these are labeled here. So this top tray here, if I can get it so that you can read it. This counter tray 1A goes right here. And let's see, we'll just take a close-up of 1A here. And so I'll hold it this way. So here is where the writing is. And this is what you have in this tray right here. You can go ahead and freeze that frame to give you an idea of what should go there, what pieces go. Now, I tried to keep them all the same. There are a couple that I had to mix a little bit, but I tried to keep all the planes the same, all of the units the same, so that, you know, if you had an infantry or you had a Panzer division or whatever you had, they stayed the same. So you can see this particular tray has a little bit of Russian army here. There's a lot of Russian army in this game actually, but a little bit of Russian army here and some German stuff here. And then the other top tray here is this one here. And again, there's the counter tray 1B. And here are, well, that sort of confuses you a little bit, I think. So up at the top here, this is the labeling. And here are the counters that I have in there. I'll just hold them there for a sec. So again, these are the top trays. And oh, I got one other guy fell out here. Put him back where he belongs. So this tray here, again, I'll turn him in this direction here. So this is counter tray 1D, which you can see right there. And this is all the stuff that goes in counter tray 1D. And again, you can see that a lot of Russian units, and I used red trays for the Russians so that it makes it easy when you separate it out starting to set up this game. And hopefully the idea of this is to make the game easier to set up. And here is counter tray 1C, which goes in the bottom there. And we'll lift this up here and I'll hold it right there. And like I said, you can freeze it and go ahead and figure out which units go where on these trays. A lot of units in these trays. So 1C, 1D goes like that. And then the 1A here, yeah, the 1A goes there, and the 1B goes here. And they lock into each other. They don't lock together. Normally I put little tabs that lock together, but because they're going down inside this tray, that makes it really hard to pull them out. So I decided to do it this way. So, and just to show you the ends here, if I can, got to be careful here. So there are counter trays, there are how the ends are all together. And we will set this down in here. And it's actually easier to set the two bottom ones. You can tell the bottom ones because they have this right here. And you can see my dogs have noticed one of the cats in the backyard probably. So we'll slide this one down in here. This one will slide in on top. And slide it, and you see they lock in pretty good. I mean, these don't lock in, but this does. Now, the beauty of this is that you can take and you can, once the lids are in, they're in the box and stuff, they can get all shook up, but they all stay together. Nothing gets separated out. So that's the gray. All right, so that's the gray box here. We'll put that back up the top here, and we're going to take the red box and we'll examine that. Now, again, this is tray number 2. And let me get this so that you can read that well. Lid number 2 and tray number 2. And we have the same thing. This one is a red top because it's mostly Russian units here. And I will pull these trays out. These are my 2 top trays here. And these are my 2 bottom trays here. And again, you know, we will look at the edge here. And this is, well, let's start with the 2 top trays. I think starting with A and B would be less confusing. John, let's try that. This might be B, but we'll see. So this is 2A, this counter tray 2A. And you can see what you have. Oops, let me get this. Hard to line that up when you're staring at a separate screen. But this is what's inside counter 2A. And like I said, you can see that they're different depths on the side here, depending on what's there. So you just fill them up to the max. And this would be counter tray 2B, I would think. Yes, 2B. And here are the counters there for that. And again, the labeling is at this side. So you can see these are all the units that go in that particular counter. And in this one here, now one thing I should point out is that when I'm doing these, sometimes I get them where they're a little bit high, and I don't know if you can see that, but this one is right at the very top compared to these. I always have a little bit of space up here. So once I do the prototypes, I leave mine just like this. It's not going to hurt anything, but on the ones that I upload up to GMT website, we do fix this. so that this one here will be exactly the same. So if you see them a little bit higher in some, it's not going to be that way when you get the STL files for yourself. So this is counter tray 2D, and these are all the units that are in there. Russians have a lot of units on this. And this is counter tray 2C. And here are all the units that are in that. And again, you just set these down in there. They all have little handles on them so that you can sort of pick them up and set them in there. And then this one the same way. You do have handles here if you want, but I just find it easier to set the top ones in like this. And again, those handles will match up here with this top here, so that way everything gets shaken, nothing moves. So our final tray here, you see that this has a white top, and because this is mostly counters that are in this for the game. So the white one here, let me get this over here so you can see this. And this is tray number 3. All of them are labeled. Yeah, this one's a little bit tighter. So here's tray number 3. Here are my 2 top counters here. And here are my 2 bottom counters. Again, like I say, I use color coding to denote what this is. Now we do have some Russian and German units here and here. These are extra that fall into here, but most of these are game counters. So this here is, let me make sure I got the right end here. This here is counter tray 3B. Let me get it down here so you can focus. And this is what's in 3B, right there. And then so this one is going to be 3A. Now the white is kind of hard to see, so I'll try and get the light there. Counter 3A. And this is what's inside that counter tray right there. And then my 2 bottom trays here, this tray here is counter tray 3C, or should be. Yes, it is. Counter tray 3C there. And you can see what's all in this counter right here. And like I said, you can freeze the frame and or even take a screen grab of it. And that way you have what counters go where. And you can see that there are various heights on these counter trays. And then this one here, I'll put this the same direction. This is counter tray 3D. And again, you can see all of this right here. And we also have our die right here. And this counter tray here includes the die. I have some extra ones that you can put up to 7 deep in here if you need to, or you want to arrange them a little differently. The die can also be used here in this tray as a dice rolling tray. Any of these trays you can use for dice rolling there. So that's these counters here on this. Let me just put these back in. Put that all back in. Lid on. So here's all of our counter trays, and again, they just go right back into the box. Counter tray 1, 2, and 3, and put that on there, and there it is. Okay, so as you can see, everything fits nicely back into this box. Hopefully it organizes it well. Like with all of my files, the STL files, if you have a 3D printer or know somebody that does, are available on the GMT website for absolutely free. You can go there and download them. It's Barbarossa Army Group North, 1941. You look on that page for this game right there. Just click on it. Go down, you'll see a link there for all the STL files. You also see a link for this video right here so that you can use this video to guide you through. So if you do print up these, let me know in comments down below what you think. Please do like and subscribe. And please do leave pictures of your printings of these on the official GMT Facebook page. That would be fantastic to see what you came up with and what you printed and how you like them. So I appreciate you watching this long. Thanks for joining in, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.